Kids may be small, but they are more powerful than you think. In fact, kids have superpowers that would astonish most adults. We found some pretty interesting kid and baby facts that had us cheering for these superhumans. If you are new to the things, make sure to subscribe and like our video. Now, here are 10 superpowers all kids are born with. Toddler telepathy. Did you know toddlers can read minds? They can tell what you're feeling. Researchers at the University of Washington were stunned when they discovered that 18-month-olds engage in what they call emotional eavesdropping. They say these little mind readers listen and watch emotional reactions directed by one adult to another and then use this emotional information to shape their own behavior. They concluded that this may be a precursor to reading other people's minds by understanding their emotional and psychological states. A psychology professor involved in the study was fascinated with how sensitive toddlers are to the emotional dynamics of the interactions around them. She said they don't even need to try out a behavior of their own and get rewarded or punished. They can watch what someone else does and learn from what happens to them. Kids are basically like lightning rods for emotions. They pick up everything around them and use it to their advantage. It's how they learn about the world around them and can be used as a tool for survival. For instance, if a child's mom is afraid of snakes, her baby will see that fear and know to stay away from snakes. Pretty cool, huh? Supervision. If we were to show you a picture of two cute monkeys side by side, would you be able to tell them apart? Well, babies can. We all could when we were 6 months old. According to a new study, babies have got Google beat with their face recognition skills. Researchers showed babies pictures of two similar-looking monkeys, and they were able to distinguish the facial features in the individual primates, while adults could not. This also applies to human faces. Babies have an amazing ability to remember every feature of a face after seeing it only once. We all lose this superpower over time. Apparently, when your brain starts putting labels on the things it sees, it limits your ability to distinguish subtle differences. Since the language center in the baby's brain is developing, they can see and process even the slightest details in faces and objects. Take a look at these 3 snail pictures. Which of the two are similar? Most of us would guess that A and B are the same, right? But babies correctly perceive B and C as similar, even though the glossy shine from the light is different. Trippy. Baby dog whisperers. Move over, Caesar Milan, because babies are the new dog whisperers. Check this out. Babies can decipher the different meanings of dogs' barks. Whoa. Scientists say that infants can match the sounds of an angry snarl and a friendly yap to pictures of a dog displaying threatening and welcoming body language. In an experiment, they showed babies 2 different pictures of the same canine. One was in an aggressive stance, and another was in a friendly stance. Then, the researchers played the clips of friendly and aggressive dog barks. The babies always stared at the appropriate picture to match with the bark tone. This probably comes from our caveman days when kids had to detect whether or not that saber-toothed tiger was going to have them for lunch. Babies can also detect whether someone is speaking in their native tongue or not by watching videos without any sound. They can tell just by watching the movement of people's faces if they are speaking a different language. Because of this incredible ability, they are able to effortlessly learn any of the world's languages. Can you do that? You could when you were 6 months old. Don't feel too bad about it. You can still beat any baby in a foot race. Internal furnaces. Did you know that babies can't shiver? It's physically impossible. So how does a tiny human who can't shiver, can cover herself up, and can seek shelter from colder temperatures stay warm? The answer is something called brown fat. It's like an internal heating blanket that burns super hot inside the body to keep the baby warm. This fat is also present in hibernating animals who need to stay warm during the long winter snooze. In newborn babies, brown fat makes up about 5% of their bodies. It's usually found around the neck and shoulders. Scientists are freaking out about this because they think this information could be used to fight obesity in adults. As we get older, our brown fat goes away, and we end up with its lazy cousin, white fat. White fat just lounges like a couch potato in your body and doesn't help you to stay as warm as the healthier fat. Scientists are trying to find a way to activate the growth of this super baby fat in adults so they can lose weight and stay healthy as well as snuggly warm. So, to all you young folks watching, don't be so quick to lose that baby fat. Superhuman strength. Have you ever seen a baby wrap its tiny hand around its mom's fingers? This reflex is called the palmar grasp reflex, and and babies can do it in the womb. Here's what's crazy about this reflex. It is strong enough to hold a baby's entire body weight. This is one of the first things they check when a baby is born to be sure she is healthy and strong. Anyone who has held a baby and had the unfortunate experience of having them grab your hair knows the power of those tiny hands. At around 4 or 5 months, babies start to lose this reflex and start being able to voluntarily pick items up with their hands. This combined with their super perception, supervision, and hyperhearing abilities makes for a phenomenon of super babies. We can't wait for the movie studios to pick up on this one. Can you say Infant Avengers? Baby Justice League? Babies just might be able to give Hulk a run for his money in strength and temper tantrums. Super healing powers. Here's a pretty cool discovery we found. Babies actually have the ability to heal their mothers from inside the womb. According to NPR, a German scientist discovered that fetal cells circulate throughout the mother's body for years after pregnancy. They go around healing the mother and making sure she is strong so she can raise the little one after he is born. In scars left by C-sections, scientists found fetal cells that make collagen to help the scar heal. So even after the baby is born, the mom can benefit from the leftover fetal cells in the mom's body. These supercells are pretty amazing. They have been linked to a decreased risk in rheumatoid arthritis and breast cancer. This part is going to blow your mind. They discovered that if a mother suffers from organ damage, the fetus can send stem cells to help her regenerate organ tissue. Nature has allowed for unborn babies to save their mothers' lives. These superpower cells they share with their mom can graft into tissues, including bone marrow, which could possibly provide a lifetime supply of super baby cells to help mom replace damaged ones. It makes sense that babies would be able to make sure their mother is around and healthy enough to care for them. Super taste. With all these other super abilities, you probably won't be surprised to learn that babies have an incredible sense of taste. This superpower is due to the fact that they have 3 times the amount of taste buds as adults do. These taste buds cover their tongues, tonsils, palates, and cheeks. This could be the reason babies and toddlers are such picky eaters, but mothers could change that by eating a wide variety of foods during pregnancy. Studies have shown that the taste of whatever foods the mother eats while pregnant transfer to the amniotic fluid which the baby drinks. Mothers who drank carrot juice every day during pregnancy, for example, had kids who preferred carrots after they were born. Babies and kids from all backgrounds tend to prefer sweet foods. This is because they need a lot of extra energy from sugars to grow. All babies seem to hate vegetable stems because of their bitterness. That bitter taste has the intensity of poison in their mouths. No wonder babies can be so dramatic when they don't want to eat food they don't like. They really might believe those Brussels sprouts are poison. Super intelligence. Babies' brains grow at a phenomenal rate. In the first 3 months of a child's life, her brain grows by 64%. It goes from being about 1/3 the size of an adult brain to half the size of an adult brain in 90 days. Inside that massive baby brain, they have the same number of neurons as an adult, about 86 billion. In that time of rapid mind growth, they form. The connections between these neurons are called synapses, and they form every time the baby learns something new. By the time they turn into brainy toddlers, they have formed 1,000 trillion synapses. As they get older, the brain weeds out the unnecessary connected in a process called synaptic pruning. The cerebellum, which is part of the brain that is responsible for motor development like grabbing objects and crawling, is the fastest growing region of the brain. In contrast, the hippocampus, which helps form memories, grows at the slowest rate. That explains why none of us remember being babies. It's probably for the best. Toddler world domination would be so messy. Super sense of justice. We've all probably heard kids shout the popular phrase, "no fair," right? That common protest stems from the fact that babies seem to have an innate ability to sense fairness and justice at a very early age. One study showed that 15-month-olds noticed unequal distributions of food and drink. Researchers believe that this sense of fairness is connected to their own willingness to share. How did they figure this out? Well, they had the children watch movies of someone distributing food, either equally or unequally. Most of the toddlers spent more time focusing on the unequal outcome. This led the experts to believe that the toddlers were surprised that it violated their basic sense of fairness. They also prefer those who they find to have higher morals. In a study at Yale University, babies were shown a puppet show and then asked if they preferred the nice puppet or the mean puppet. Even though the puppets looked identical, the babies reached for the nice puppet and avoided the mean one. Researchers concluded that this showed a baby's ability to evaluate the difference between good and bad, just like Superman. Limb regeneration. We couldn't believe this one, but it's true. Did you know that if a baby loses a fingertip, she has the ability to grow a new one in its place? Amazing, right? According to scientists, children can sometimes regrow the tip of an amputated finger as long as there's a bit of a nail left over and the wound isn't stitched up. Apparently, there is a population of stem cells lying beneath the base of the nail that can help your body regrow a partially amputated digit, but only if there is enough of the super stem cells left in the tissue found under the nail. This process is common with amphibians, but when we are young, we also have this super ability. And that's not all. Kids also have super bone healing capabilities. When you're young, your bones are generating faster than it can be replaced. So in a way, kids' bones are always behaving as if they are healing. Since their bones are already engaged in a supercharged rate of growth, bones heal in about half the time it takes for adults. Wow! And that's it for 10 superpowers all kids are born with. Thanks for watching The Things. See you next time.